Hello there, Jeff with the Bigshooterist channel. Thanks for stopping in. Tonight we're going to be talking kit, lots of kit, and not just any old kit. We're going to be talking some good kit. Stick around. I hope you like this one. Well, tonight we're going to talk about something that is not discussed frequently, but it probably should be. It's something that can help you be a better shooter. It's helped me become a better shooter, and it's really a long-range goal of making your firearm part of a weapon system. And you're an important part of the weapon system itself, and the accessories that bring with you are going to be, they're going to have the potential anyway to be deciding factors in how you perform. So tonight I've got a new firearm that I just put together, just started assembling a kit, and it gave me the idea. We see the term a lot and we hear it a lot, especially on the social media areas, you know, good kit. But tonight we're going to talk about what good kit is really about. So we're going to examine one of mine. And it's not finished, but it'll give you an idea what it's going to look like when it's done. Now, kit is just what it sounds like. Rhymes with a popular word. It's usually put after the word good. But it's just what it sounds like. It's a package. So I just assembled a new 300 AAC blackout. Started with a CMMG upper receiver, and that's about as far as the stock went before that was disassembled and turned into this. But let's look at something that might help you by having a single bag, which is one of the most important parts of your kit that I would recommend. Get a bag, devote it to that firearm, that system. Always have the things in it that you're going to use or potentially could use, and you're never going to be out in the field thinking, oh boy, I should have had that. Before we get into the obvious component, which is the firearm, we'll start dissecting some of the smaller. My kit, I keep a rangefinder. Rangefinders can be anywhere from $300 to $3,000 depending on what you need and what you need for performance and what your price level is. I've got a 500 yard yardage pro. It's a Bushnell. Since this is a medium range rifle, 500 yards is going to be fine. It's very, very accurate. Has numerous settings for use in rain, for use on reflective surfaces, for scanning, and for me it works fantastic, and for a medium range rifle it's going to do the trick. So we've got a rangefinder. Because the rangefinder does not run on a solar panel or a windmill or anything else, it needs batteries. So batteries, and batteries. I've got batteries for optics. I've got batteries for night vision. I've got batteries for lights. I have batteries for lasers. I have batteries for everything, and lots of them. And that's a very important part of your kit. If you have something battery operated, which we're going to talk about not depending on in a life-saving situation a little bit later, but if you have something that uses batteries as a primary, you better have a lot of them, because the time you need it most is the time you're not going to have any, or you're not going to find any to purchase. Along the line of electronics, electronics fail. Electronics always fail. And I have two things to help me when the electronics do fail. The first is I keep a solar panel with me, and this charges up on nothing but the sun, and then it stores the electricity in here, so I can generate power during the day just by hanging it out in the sun, hang it on a vest, hang it somewhere that this thing is out back if something shiny isn't all that important, or you can conceal it, and then I can recharge things at night, charge the panel back up the next day. That's to help the electronic things from not failing due to battery failure. Now, because we know they're going to, backup iron sights. Backup iron sights. I use the Magpul backup iron sights, front and rear. They're lightweight. I just can't say enough good about them. They work fantastic. If you run into trouble, you can strip your gear off, go to your backups. With some gear, depending on what you have for your kit, you can use them right through your optics, and they work great. These sights are not going to fail you, at least not in my experience. Any kit is going to have a suitable amount of magazines. I like to have 6 to 10 magazines with me. Since this particular firearm is in 300 AAC blackout and it uses the same magazine as the 5.56 or the 223s, in order to not confuse them in a time where confusing them might be a little bit easier, I only use magazines of one color for the 300 AAC blackout. And that way I'm going to be less apt to grab a 223 or 5.56 magazine and insert it into my firearm, or at a range with a lot of people when we're say sighting in or just having a fun day or doing some cross training, someone is less apt to grab my 300 AAC magazine and insert it into their 5.56. And we'll talk about problems there as well later. Hearing protection. Extra hearing protection. I don't particularly need any hearing protection with this particular weapon platform, but if I have to use it without the sound suppressor, I'm going to be happy I have hearing protection with me. So it's not that expensive. These ones are actually 50 to 100 bucks. They are molded by an audiologist into my ear. They're very, very quiet. The closest thing I can compare it to is maybe scuba diving, because you're completely in your own element with these. And if you shoot a lot and you don't want to be one of those old guys that every time someone asks you a question, your first answer is, huh? Or what? Then invest in some of these. Wish I'd have done it earlier. I apologize for the noise, but we're expanding the range. I'll try to show you that if we have enough light later. We've got a lot of heavy equipment moving in and out. Rogue American apparel patch. That's probably not mandatory for you, but it's mandatory for me. Ammo. Goes without saying. Lots and lots of ammo. Lots and lots of ammo. Now, because of what we discussed earlier about this particular rifle having magazines that are color-coded just to that caliber, I'm waiting for the magazines to come in, so stuff's boxed up for right now. Not going to take a chance on having a problem, but lots and lots of magazines. Flashlight. Always have a flashlight in the kit. See how I unscrewed the cover so it wouldn't turn on when the button got pushed inside by mistake? And then forgot that when I went to show you the light. Actually, that's a good idea. Keep the light off, have a good light with you, and your electronics, try to use things that incorporate the same battery systems, and that way it makes it easier. So you don't need a shopping bag full of different types of batteries. Most of my things I've got whittled down to 1, 2, 3 lithiums. That's what the vast majority of my system uses, and it works out good that way. This one I can't emphasize enough, and it's vacant in a lot of people's kit. A sniper data book or a weapon data book. You need something to take notes and put them down on paper. So if you're in a situation where you need to make a quick decision, you have a known distance with a known load, and you just need to know what your drop is, you refer to your data book. And it's very important in building your kit to build a data book. Spend some quality time at the range, a lot of different ranges, a lot of different conditions, a lot of different loads, and the information you can put in here and hopefully upload some to here. For you younger guys, the better you're going to be able to perform in the field. So a good weapon data book and a long time at the range and in conditions that you're going to be in, building the data for that. This is going to be your new Bible. Also, a nice pressurized pen. The pressurized pens allow you to write in the rain, underwater, and they don't suffer the fatigue that a regular pen does and tend to dry out as well. A little bit pricey. Now, this is not one of them. This is just something I threw in the new kit because I can't have kit without a pen. But for 20 bucks, you can get yourself a decent pressurized pen. Now your kit is going to be personalized based on what you're using and what you use it for. So now we're starting to get into some of the meat and potatoes of what I need specific for my kit that you may or may not need or want to use. This is a tripler with a quick detach mount. My primary optic on this is Aimpoint Comp M2 sight. So it's just a straight 0 power red dot sight, shoot with both eyes open in close quarters, and have a great field of vision. If I'm going to make a shot that's a little bit longer, I can snap this behind it. You don't have to re-zero anything, because all you're doing is magnifying, and then I've got a 3 power red dot sight. So that's an important part of my kit. Credit card light. I keep this in my kit. Very, very, very small light. Small magnifier on it. It allows me to use a little bit of light to read something and not torch the whole area that I'm in. So I'll always have a small light, maybe for reading my weapon data book to put myself to sleep at night. And I'd recommend something like that for you too. The case. The case is a very important part of your kit. Pick a case that fits your firearm and your accessories and all the other collectives that we refer to as a kit. Sky's the limit on what you can spend. I would buy something that's nice, that's padded, that's lightweight, that's flexible. That's what works for me anyway. You might want something that's expensive, that's heavy, that's rigid, and that'll work good for you, but this works good for me. Alright, getting into the kit. This is the nucleus for me. This is the firearm for this particular one. And there are still several items to go over. We've just reached the tip of the iceberg. This is a 300 AAC blackout. It is on a CMMG stainless steel 1-in-8 barrel. Presently with a coastal, I believe it's an LRT. Yeah, LRT can. Magpul stock, Magpul grip. Love the Magpul stuff, it works fantastic. This particular stock has a lock on it, no vibration. You can stop it anywhere you like, lock it up. Again, nice and tight, no vibration. You can even fold it all the way up and lock it for a small package. The grip pod, or GPS Industries, that allows your vertical front grip to also become a very stable platform to shoot from. And I was recently enlightened to these, and I can't thank Joe Gadini enough for pointing them out to me, because these are fantastic, and they'll always be a part of my kit from now on. Some things that may be important to your kit may have to do with your geographical location. I live in a cold climate. I work in a cold climate a lot. So gloves. Gloves are very nice. They're not just protection for your hands, but they're protection from the elements. As with any battery operated devices, one thing that I've learned over the years, batteries, even the nicest lithium batteries, don't like the cold. So how I overcome that is I have the hand warmers with me all the time. The Grab-A-Mycol or whatever kind of hand warmers they are. It's like an activated carbon. You shake them up and expose them to the air, and they'll warm right up. I store my batteries in a container that's heated by those, and that way I always get good performance from my batteries, even when I'm in sub-zero temperatures. So you want to think of a lot of things like that specific to your own climate, not just the system and the mission. Now the primary sight on this kit is the Aimpoint Comp M2. And that's just a straight red dot sight. Allows you to shoot with both eyes open for that wide field of view. It has several settings that one might think are not working properly. They're actually settings where the spectrum is below that of visible light. And that is where the ANPVS-14 comes into play. When you uncap these and turn this on in low light, those settings that you can't see during the day work as a fine aiming point with the ANPVS-14. and I find that it's good for probably 100 to 150 yards in this configuration to still have a good field of view and be able to perform respectively. Now, because we're using an POF-14 on this, we have an infrared laser. The laser is actuated with a pressure switch on the grip pod. We also have a pentagon light on the front. The pentagon light has an infrared cover on it, and that allows it to throw an enormous amount of light downrange to help the POF-14 do its job. You'll notice that the cover is off it. I always keep the cover off, and that way if for some reason the light gets turned on by accident, it's not just burning your batteries up undetected. When I'm not going to be utilizing it at night, we simply pull the POF-14 off and use it as a straight optic, or we add the tripler if I need a little bit more distance to reach out. That may or may not be in your kit depending on what you have for a sight. For a lower receiver, we've used a POF-USA P415. It's a beautiful, beautiful lower. They're very durable. I've had terrific luck with all of their products. If I can't kill them, I don't think that it's possible, because I try pretty hard. They tell me that I'm an overachiever when it comes to ruining firearms, and I wear that as a badge of honor. It has a 2.5 pound trigger on it. It is a single stage trigger. The reset's very short. The over travel is very short. We used KNS anti-walking pins. Again, we went over the mag pull. We've got the Mole Plus grip. Used a single point sling attachment because that's what I've become accustomed to. Get some friends that they enjoy a 2-point sling, but again, this kit is customized for your use, and this is what works for me. If you watch the channel, you've probably seen the conversation that we've had about building a range. We're adding a 500-yard range, at least a 500-yard range, to this facility, and because of that we have a lot of heavy equipment down behind the backstop, and that doesn't allow us to shoot as often as we'd like. The guys that are back there on the skidders and fella bunchers, I think they get the ability to shoot back too, so we kind of made a deal with them, and they don't crush us and throw us in the chipper. We don't shoot at them when they're in the impact area. I think that's a good fair trade. So we're not going to be focusing heavy on live fire. We apologize for not putting out as many videos as we usually do, but they're not going to be here forever, and we promise to make it up to you on the other end. So this isn't the end-all be-all kit. This is just my kit for now, and it evolves with me. And there are several things that I'm going to draw from a few others to keep on this dedicated platform, and that's going to help me be more proficient with it when I need to be. If you have any comments for what you keep in your kit, or things that you might think would be beneficial in my kit, please comment. That would be fantastic, because we're not just preaching to the choir, we're helping new people out, and from the comments that I get, it is appreciated. So if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate if you'd like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. I think it's on that side. I'll point to this one too, just in case. Please share it on the social media networks, and get some more great videos coming your way. I know we say that all the time, but with over 70 videos up in the last 8 months, I hope we've been producing for you. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, have fun and be safe.